The grid just died. Phones become paperweights. Stores emptied in an hour. Water stopped at the tap. Emergency broadcasts cut to static. You have 30 minutes before the building turns from awkward quiet into controlled chaos. And what you do in that half hour decides whether the next 3 days are manageable or miserable. This is the day. Zero checklist for small apartments. No structural changes. No landlord drama. Just the exact actions that buy you time. Water has stopped flowing from your tap. And that emergency broadcast you were trying to find, static. You have about 30 minutes before your apartment building goes from awkward silence to controlled chaos. What you do in that half hour will determine whether your next 3 days are manageable or absolutely miserable. Most people panic first, which means they survive less. Our motto here is simple. Adapt, improvise, survive. We're going to tackle 3 priorities in order. Light, water, and food. Then we'll cover heat, communications, and shelter. For each one, I'll give you a primary action, a secondary backup, and a last resort option you should only use with extreme caution. Those test results are directly from the checks. Let's start with light. Hands-free light is your absolute #1 priority. Your primary should be an LED headlamp with fresh AA or AAA batteries. They're cheap, reliable, hands-free, and the batteries last a long time. Your secondary option is a small solar lantern. You can set it in a sunny window during the day and use it at night. The last result, your phone's flashlight. Yes, it works, but it absolutely drains your battery and ties up your only line of communication. In our test, a regular headlamp on low with fresh AA batteries gave us about 4.5 hours of handy light. An iPhone 12 on constant flashlight mode lasted roughly 4 to 5 hours while killing its battery for calls. A practical tip, keep 1 set of spare batteries in your day 0 kit. Next up, water. Survival beats taste. Remember that? The rule of thumb is to plan for 1 gallon of water per person, per day. 4 day 0, your goal is to secure at least 3 gallons per person if you can. Your primary method is having pre-filled, food-safe jugs stored in a cool, dark place. Make sure to rotate this water every 6 months. A secondary option, if you have no stored water, is to collect rainwater or melt snow, but only if you can properly filter and treat it. The last resort is makeshift distillation. It's slow, unreliable, and you cannot assume it removes chemical contaminants or industrial toxins. Always pre-filter any water you collect. You can do this by layering clean cloth, sand, and then charcoal in that order inside a funnel. This will remove particles and some bad tastes before you boil it. Speaking of boiling, a rolling boil is what you're looking for. 1 full minute at sea level, and 3 minutes if you're above 6,500 feet. But be warned, boiling and simple distillation will not reliably remove many industrial chemicals or radioactive isotopes. Now for food. Calories first. Perishables second. Your primary food source should be shelf-stable meals, canned goods, protein pouches, and other ready-to-eat items. Be careful with dented cans. Small dents are usually fine, but if a can is swollen or bulging, reject it immediately. Trust your sense of smell and what you see over the printed expiration date. Your secondary is a cooler packed with ice for your most critical refrigerated items. Open it as rarely as possible. Urban foraging is a last... It's possible, but incredibly risky due to contamination. Treat it as a desperate final option. Here, that's a practical tip from our freezer test. A freezer that is about 90% full will maintain safe internal temperatures for about 3 hours longer than one that is half full. So, pack it tight to slow down warming. Your rule is to prioritize high-calorie, high-fat items first and cook any perishable food early in the outage if you have a safe way to do so. Remember, these steps only delay spoilage. They don't stop it. Use or cook those perishables within 24 to 48 hours. Let's talk about staying warm without burning down your apartment. Your primary strategy is layering your clothing, using a Mylar emergency blanket at night, and creating one insulated sleep zone. Pick a single room, close the doors, and seal any drafts with removable materials like towels or draft strips. A secondary option is a purpose-built candle lantern, but you must use it exactly as the manufacturer instructs, and only in a well-ventilated space. Your last resort is any kind of improvised open flame indoors. We do not recommend this for renters due to the massive risk of fire and carbon monoxide poisoning. In our test, a certified candle lantern produced a steady flame with far less soot than improvised jars. Those makeshift glass vessels showed signs of thermal stress and created a lot of soot. So, a practical tip. Choose one interior room. Move mattresses or heavy furniture to help insulate it, and have a buddy system at night for monitoring, but be realistic. These measures won't replace a real heat source in multi-day sub-freezing conditions. Next, communications. How to hear and be heard. Your primary is a battery-powered NOAA weather radio and a printed emergency contact list. The secondary is your charged phone, loaded with offline maps and connected to a power bank. Conserve that battery by using airplane mode and only checking it periodically. Your last resort is social media. It might be useful, but it's not a reliable lifeline when cell towers and the internet are down. Here's a cool signal trick we tested. A reflective baking tray or a piece of foil angled in a window can work as a fantastic daytime visual signal for rescue teams or neighbors. We were surprised by how visible it was. Now, let's bring it all together with shelter and triage. Pick one! Command zone! This should be one room with one door and as few external walls as possible. Ideally, it's above ground level and away from any obvious flood paths. This is where you'll centralize everything. Your light, water, food, radio, medical kit, and a small toolkit, all in a single box. The principle of insulation is to trap air. Multiple thin layers are better than one bulky one. Use clothing, newspapers, cardboard, or blankets to create air pockets that slow heat loss. An important urban note: avoid obvious gathering points like big stores or transit hubs. They attract crowds fast. Let's review some basic renter-safe skills. Pre-filter water, using that cloth, sand, and charcoal method. Then boil it. For light, prioritize hands-free, low-draw devices. If you must use your phone, dim the screen and use it in short bursts. For food, avoid opening the freezer repeatedly. Each time you do, you speed up the warming process. Seal drafts with towels or removable foam tape, not permanent changes. And keep a whistle handy. It uses no power and can alert neighbors without draining your batteries. Now, a crucial list of what not to do. Do not rely on improvised open flame oil lamps. Inside, the glass can crack, fumes can build up, and fires can escalate in seconds. Do not assume distillation removes industrial chemicals. Don't trust bulging cans and never taste suspicious food to test it. Avoid improvising tools that could cause injury. Your priority is to reduce immediate risks: hydration, warmth, preventing injury and delay risk improvisations until things are more stable. Let's do a quick recap of your Day Zero checklist. Priorities in order are light, water, and food. Then heat, communications, and shelter. In your command zone, you should have an LED headlamp with spare batteries, 3 gallons of water per person, 2 to 3 shelf-stable meals per person, a Mylar blanket and warm layers, a battery-powered NOAA radio, a basic first aid kit, a small multi-tool, and a reflective panel for signaling. The one-sentence rule is this: fix what will make the next 24 hours survivable. Don't chase long-term solutions on Day Zero. Now, we want to hear from you. Which blackout myths should we test next? Comment with your top suggestions, and we'll run the experiments and publish the results. Also, if you want a printable version of this Day Zero checklist, just comment checklist below. Always remember, Safety first. Avoid improvised open flames indoors. Treat all unknown water before drinking, and discard any compromised food. You're not a movie hero. You're a survivor. Lock down your command zone. Gather your essentials. Keep a cool head. And help your neighbors when it's safe. Stay ready and stay careful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content to keep you prepared.